So 7 months ago, I made a video about Jamie Dimon, where I basically, let's just say, debunk some of the nonsense he claims about Bitcoin being a Ponzi scheme and being used by criminals for illegal activities such as, drug dealing, sex trafficking, and all this money laundering and all this kind of nonsense. And I highlighted the facts that it's quite ironic how Jamie Dimon, which is the CEO of JPMorgan, who facilitated and they had and they provided banking services to one of the biggest Ponzi schemers in the history of Ponzi schemes, and of course, it's Bernie Madoff. And now, recently, information just came out that Jeffrey Epstein, which is the embodiment of illegal activities, the embodiment of corruption and sex trafficking, and all these reprehensible things that people usually like to attribute to Bitcoin. He had ties with JPMorgan, and Jamie Dimon was basically his banker. And again, they ignored a lot of red flags. They enabled his crimes and his illegal activities in America. And then, not only that, JPMorgan, they debank people like Jack Mallers just because they buy Bitcoin. And now they are back in the calls to delist MSTR, Michael Saylor's strategy, from major indexes because they are too Bitcoin heavy. So this shows you that this bank, JPMorgan, of course, there was a huge backlash on X. A lot of Bitcoiners are calling to boycott JPMorgan Bank and close their accounts. I think Grant Cardone closed his accounts and moved his money to another bank, and then he's suing them for some credit fraud or whatever. I don't remember the details. But yeah, there's a huge backlash on X with regard to JP Morgan's defending or basically backing the delisting of MSCR and of course debanking Bitcoiners such as Jack Mallers. But then they had no issue with people like Bernie Madoff and Jeffrey Epstein. So if this shows you anything, it shows you that just because some big name banker thinks that Bitcoin is a Ponzi scheme or it doesn't have inherent value, or all these bullshit excuses that we've been hearing for many years now, to be honest, they mean nothing. They mean nothing because if you think about it, Bitcoin threatens the existence of these traditional banks, of these corrupt traditional banks. And of course, they will try to destroy the reputation of, I'm not going to say the reputation, the image of Bitcoin. They will try, of course, to stop Bitcoiners from becoming bigger and more mainstream, of course, like Jack Mallers and Michael Saylor. But the problem is, Bitcoin is unstoppable. Nothing stops this train, as Lynn Alden perfectly pointed out a few years ago. Bitcoin is unstoppable. Bitcoin is going to reign supreme. And not Jamie Dimon, not Peter Schiff, not JP Morgan. Nothing's going to stop the rise of Bitcoin. And eventually, I hope so, eventually, all these corrupt banks who actually canceled a lot of good people and deprived them of their, I'm not going to say rights, but the essential need of having banking services. Imagine being canceled from a fucking bank. You can't have a bank account. You can't receive money. You can't have an income if you don't have a bank account. That's the ultimate totalitarian, let's just say totalitarian despotism. Okay, that's the ultimate form of despotism. To be able to cut someone from the financial system is one of the most powerful powers that you can have. And the fact that we have to rely on these corrupt institutions to give us these things, these essential things like banking services and the ability to save our money from being inflated by the central bank, and also save our ability to send and receive money and to have an income. Just because they don't like what we say online, or they don't like the kind of investments we want to make, I think it's crucial. And this only proves the necessity and the absolute necessity of Bitcoin, and why everybody needs excuse me, why everybody needs to learn about Bitcoin, why everybody needs to buy Bitcoin, to learn how to self-custody Bitcoin. Because if you have Bitcoin and you self-custody your own Bitcoin, nobody can stop you, nobody can debank you. So yeah, if you didn't watch my video about Jamie Dimon, you can watch it here. If you want to learn more about Bitcoin, check my YouTube channel, subscribe, and hope to see you in the next one. Take care.